MLB just released their first and second All-MLB teams. Why not a third? Let's talk sports talk. Let's go! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jim Talk Sports is the name of the channel. Let's Talk Sports Talk is the name of the series, and my name is Michaelan. As you can see, we're doing something a little different than yesterday and the day before. We're gonna take a break from hockey and the looking into the past, and now we're gonna sort of look at the present and see what's happening in the MLB. So yeah, I saw the article yesterday that they released these teams. You can see them here now. I have my third team blocked up. We'll get to that later. First, I just kind of want to break down the first and second teams. So yeah, let's just start with the first team here. We got Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez from the Royals, obviously very well deserved to be on the first team. Like, just becoming an ageless wonder. The guy doesn't seem to slow down. Congratulations to him. And of course, you can see him back there, first base, my friend, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. My wife always makes fun of me when I say I'm so proud of my friends, Vladdy and Bo, but I do see them as my friends, even though I've never met them. I've spent so much time with them. It's they might as well be my friends. And then second base, Marcus Semien, guy's going to get paid. That's all I have to say. Also, I will note if there's a star next to their name, like you see here on Marcus Semien, that means that they are a free agent this offseason. So yeah, Marcus Semien, obviously, what an amazing year to go off on your free agent year. I love when guys sign that one-year deal and then blow up. It makes my heart so happy because you know that was probably a really stressful offseason for Marcus Semien. Signing that one-year deal, all the uncertainties. I mean, heck, he has a handful of kids, at least two or more, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, it's not like he was, hurting for cash. I think he made $11 million last year. So it's not like he was, but it's nice. It's nice to see that he's going to be able to get paid. I don't think the Blue Jays are going to be the one to pay him. I'll just say that right now. So Fernando Tatis Jr., this one kind of surprised me when I first saw this. First saw these shortstops, I kind of thought Bo Bichette got snubbed. But then I looked into the numbers more, and even though Fernando Tatis Jr. was hurt, for a lot of the year, he's Fernando Tatis Jr. And yeah, the numbers he put up definitely deserve him to be on the first or second team. I think that one really was probably a tough call for the MLB. Do you put him on the first team, or do you give it to Trey Turner, who just really had like a full good season? But I don't disagree with that at all. Austin Riley from the Braves, third base, obviously thrilled with that. His counterpart, Rafael Devers, again, those two, I think there's a little bit more separation. A little bit different. Some of these players, the defense is just as important as the offense, and for some of these players, it kind of seemed like they just thought about the offense. And as we get into the outfielders, we will be talking about that a lot, because I think they definitely did not think too much about the defense here, other than Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's really good on the defensive side. Obviously, the first team, like, no-brainers. Those were the guys that everyone would have chose. You can maybe make some arguments that maybe Kyle Tucker deserves to be on that first team, but who do you put him there over? You don't put him there over any of those three guys. Those three guys had fantastic years. So, so on the first team, it was Juan Soto, Nationals, Bryce Harper, Phillies, and Aaron Judge on the Yankees. Again, all well-deserved. And then, we'll head over to the second. I've dabbled in there, but I want to do a full breakdown on that as well. So then, here we go. We got the starting pitcher. So the two biggest starting pitcher free agents, in my opinion, Robbie Ray and Max Scherzer, both on this first team all-star list. Huge congratulations to Robbie Ray for getting the Cy Young Award, plus this, again, another guy that bet on himself. It makes me sad that he's bet on himself with the Blue Jays. And even if him and Semien don't sign with the Blue Jays, which it really is seeming like that's not going to happen, or maybe a lot of people are saying one or the other, I do think that it still reflects really positively on the Blue Jays organization. I mean, these guys, Marcus Semien and Robbie Ray, both were sort of struggling before they came to the Blue Jays. They came to the Blue Jays, they figured it out, and both of them, finished top three in their MVP categories, if you will. Robbie Ray winning his MVP category. Although with Shohei Ohtani, I totally skipped over him winning the first team DH, and I believe he was second. Yeah, he's a second team starting pitcher. So just another record that Shohei Ohtani is going to break. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about him because you guys know. If you're a baseball fan, Shohei Ohtani, we hope it's sustainable. We really hope he can come back next year and do the same thing and stay healthy. But who knows? This may have been the year. You know what I mean? Let's just hang on to that and really just appreciate the amazing year he had, because it's so unprecedented. We can't really expect him to do that again. If he does it next year, it'll be just as amazing as doing it this year, in my opinion. And then if he can put together like a 5-6 year period of doing what he did last year, he could walk away from baseball after that and be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. It's just absolutely bonkers. Max Scherzer from the Dodgers/Nats, no brainer. The guy's an absolute freak. I love I think it's called helichromia. I love that he has 2 different colored eyes. I'm sure that totally gets in his opponent's head. Corbin Burns from the Brewers. Unfortunate exit from the playoffs for the Brewers. Walker Buehler from the Dodgers. Of course, the guy's filthy. Robbie Ray, we talked about him a little bit. And Garrett Cole, the guy we all love to hate. Congratulations, Garrett Cole. Sorry you couldn't use your sticky stuff all year. Probably would have won the Cy Young if you could. Relief pitchers, Josh Hader, Liam Hendricks. I didn't look too deep into the relief pitchers. I didn't want to dig down all these crazy stat rabbit holes. But yeah, those 2 players are obvious. I mean, this MLB got it right. And then so the second team, Buster Posey. Just give Buster Posey a little round of applause, everybody, on the other side of your monitors here. Give him a little clap. Announcing his retirement earlier this offseason. Interesting talking points about Buster Posey. If there was a DH in the National League, would he continue to play? That's sort of like the main talking point with him. And how many games lost of phenomenal catchers' careers do we have because there was no DH in the National League? So either way, congratulations to him. I mean, just well done. Fantastic season. Super consistent, which is really hard to do when you're worrying about batting and catching and game calling and stuff. Freddie Freeman, my part-time Canadian, the World Series champion. One of the best smiles in all of baseball, in my opinion. Again, very well deserved. Congrats. Ozzie Albies as well from the Braves. The Braves being well represented, rightfully so. Alex, if there was a first-team general manager, it'd be Alex Anthopoulos for sure. The way that he was able to construct that team after those injuries they won a World Series. It was fantastic. It was, kind of like a little Cinderella story. Talk a little about Rafael Devers. He's from my rival Red Sox, so obviously, we're hoping big things from him. He's a fantastic young stud. One of those guys, again, that's like, well, he mashes the ball, but obviously, Austin Riley, even if Devers, you can make arguments, Devers had better this, better that. If he did, I don't want to double check the stats right now. But Austin Riley obviously gives you something defensively, I think, that Rafael Devers was missing last year. Nick Castellanos, and I know I'm a Blue Jays fan, but I'm going to show my unbiasedness. I'm not sure about Nick Castellanos or Teoscar Hernandez here on the second team. Like I said, very well deserved on the offensive side of it. And like with Teo, it's kind of like similar to a Fernando Tatis situation. Obviously not the same numbers, but a little bit of a shortened season, a little bit of injury troubles, but still was able to put up really good production numbers. So that's definitely why he made this list. I just think that maybe there were some better, we'll see when I get to my third team, there were some better options, I thought, that really played the game of baseball in a more complete fashion. And then DH, Yordan Alvarez from the Astros. We'll just move on. Shohei Ohtani, Julio Urias. I look up his age right now. I'm not sure when you're watching this video, but he's probably still under 25. He's an absolute wizard. For his age, how good he is. He's one of those guys that you love to watch. You love to be a fan with when he came into the league, because you can tell, like, oh my goodness, we're going to be able to watch this guy pitch for years and years and years. Kevin Gausman, an absolutely unreal season, and Max Fried as well. Another member of the Braves. Zach Wheeler there at the bottom. Sorry, miss Zach Wheeler. The lone Phillies on this list. So if you're a Phillies fan, good to use Zach Wheeler. Raisel Iglesias and Kenley Jansen, both free agents, both guys that have been talked about, are the Blue Jays going to go after for some bullpen help. Both of them, I think, are going to cost too much like Steven Matz, I think, cost too much. So, without further ado, then we're going to go into my picks. So, what I did here for the third team is I essentially just picked the best team available. I looked through all the positions and saw, like, well, if it wasn't Salvador Perez and it wasn't Buster Posey, who am I taking? Who's my guy? And I don't want to erase all ink. I just want to use the eraser. There we go. All right. So there we go. My guy for the third team would be Will Smith from the Dodgers. Even though you can say what you will about his defensive side, I think that he did enough offensively and will continue to grow in his game. I think he's just a really exciting young player to watch, and if I had to pick a catcher that wasn't Posey or Perez for last year, I'd want it to be Will Smith. Also, kind of a clutch hitter, kind of proving that he can be a clutch hitter, which, I mean, clutch hitting catchers are everybody's favorite player. I mean, you think about all the goon catchers, even if they weren't great hitters, everyone's favorite catcher probably had those big clutch hits. So yeah, that's my guy. Let's move on to first base here. First base, I picked Matt Olson. There was a few guys you could have gone with here, but I thought Matt Olson, same sort of thing, did a lot defensively as well as offensively. And was just, if I wasn't going with Freeman or Guerrero, which I'm always going with Guerrero, it would be Matt Olson. Just a fantastic year. And again, a really nice smile. A great smile from Matt Olson, another guy who smiles a lot. I hated to do this one, guys. I really did. But he's a fantastic baseball player. It's almost upsetting how good he is at playing baseball. He's not good enough to, make contact on a pitcher with a broken leg, but he's still fantastic, and it makes me sad that he cheated, or maybe he did. Who knows? It makes me sad that there are so many fantastic talents on that team that are now, asterisked forever. Bo Bichette. Now, this is the guy, like I had said, I originally thought shortstop was snubbed. I thought Bo Bichette got kind of snubbed. He had an absolutely unreal season. But no, when further looking at the numbers, I think that third team All-MLB would be sort of where he would fit in. But, I mean, so much room to grow for my guy Bo. So much room to grow for my best friend Bo from the Blue Jays. So I think that you could very well see him take a place of a Trey Turner over next year. But mind you, the shortstop position is getting quite a bit deeper as the years go on and more prospects come up. So here we go. Moving on to third base, Justin Turner, fan favorite. I'm not sure who doesn't like Justin Turner. He speaks very candidly, and he's like, he plays for the big bad guys, but he is an underdog. You know what I mean? When you follow his story, how he broke into the league, and how he was bouncing around. He's kind of like a mainstay in the middle of an absolute stacked lineup, but you still feel like he's an underdog, So I thought he had a great season as well. I put him there at third base. And now this is where it gets interesting, because I think Cedric Mullins straight up got disrespected here. I think you could take out Nick Castellanos, but I would more so say you could take out Teoscar Hernandez and put Cedric Mullins in there. I see what they were trying to do. Maybe they were trying to get those corner outfielder spots taken care of. But mind you, look, like on the first team, I'm not sure how many of those guys played a bunch of center field. I think Aaron Judge was in center field a little bit, but most of those guys are corner outfielders. So I really thought that Cedric Mullins should have got in there. He had a fantastic offensive season. If you look at his WAR, it's right up there with the best of the best. And I mean, if you watch him play defensively, he's getting to be on another level. He's getting to this Kevin Pillar, Kevin Kiermaier type defense. I'm not saying he's there yet, but I think he got disrespected a little bit. I think Cedric Mullins from the Orioles probably could have been put on that second team, so I put him on my third team. There we go. Tyler O'Neill, the Canadian content from the Cardinals. Tyler O'Neill had a fantastic season. I don't think he was disrespected. I think if I was going to swap out anything here, it would just be Cedric Mullins for Teoscar Hernandez, which is crazy because I'm a Blue Jays fan. But I think Tyler O'Neill, again, well-deserved on the third team. Guy's got wheels. Guys can hit for contact. He can hit for power. He's sort of like like a lot of young players in the league that there's just mini 5-tool players, and you don't know how much of that will translate into a career, but he definitely has the tools to do pretty much whatever he wants in the MLB. And then another outfielder, Brian Reynolds, another guy that was also, I put in there because of the sort of the intangible things, being that he is also really good in the field. He's a switch hitter. He's got some elements to his game that I really enjoy, and I think that he would be... that he's definitely on the rise as well. Definitely a player to look out for. All right, now we're moving on to the pitchers. Oh, sorry, we got DH. DH, JD Martinez, of course, another guy from my Red Sox. JD Martinez. The DH is kind of tough because lots of guys who play DH also play some other positions. Pretty much everybody here, Shohei Ohtani especially, dabbled at other positions throughout the year and stuff. I just thought JD Martinez, he's kind of a goon DH every time he plays. So much fun to watch hit just because he's so good at it. But obviously, I dislike him deeply because I'm a Blue Jays fan and he burns us a lot. So, but hey, well deserved on the third team there. Now we move into the pitchers. Now this one is interesting too. There's lots of guys that you could probably mush in together or swap out certain players from these teams. Maybe Zach Wheeler for one of these guys or whoever you thought got disrespected. I probably have him on my third team. Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers would be my guy. Another fantastic season from him. Lance Lynn from the White Sox, right there. There we go. We've got a little technical difficulty. Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins would be another pick. Lucas Giolito from the White Sox. You'll see there I didn't choose any relief pitchers. And Charlie Morton for the Braves. Yeah, so that wraps up my third team there. Will Smith catching for the Dodgers. First baseman, Matt Olson from the Athletics. My second baseman is Jose Altuve from the Astros. My shortstop will be Bo Bichette from the Blue Jays, my personal friend Bo Bichette. Third base would be Justin Turner from the Dodgers. Outfield, we got Cedric Mullins, Tyler O'Neill, Brian Reynolds from the Orioles, Cardinals, and Pirates, respectively. DH Martinez of the JD variety from the Boston Red Sox. Brandon Woodruff from the Brewers, Lance Lynn from the White Sox, Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins, Lucas Giolito from the White Sox, and Charlie Morton from the Braves. Brief little recap there of my third team. All right, so that'll do it for this video, guys. Let's Talk Sports Talk Episode 3. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you like my third team? Do you not like my third team? Who would you swap out? Who do you think got disrespected from these MLB teams? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.
Let's go! When I was younger, I thought I would rise above it all.
Doing my job.